Hey guys, how's it going? So today, I'm going to bring up the question, who is Space Cabbie? We were recently introduced to this character in Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns, issue number 15. And while he seemed like he was new, he's actually been around for a really long time. He was first introduced only 15 years after the original appearance of the Green Lantern himself. Space Cabbie is exactly what it sounds like. He's a taxi driver in space, but what makes him special is that he's known for his wacky adventures. He meets up with a lot of famous characters throughout his history, and he's known for being able to get from point A to point B super fast. He knows all the secret routes and can get you there in a timely manner. As long as you can just pay him at the end, he's good. He's a man of his word. He's a really cool character. So Space Cabbie first appeared in issue 21 of Mystery in Space back in August 1954. Mystery in Space was this anthology comic series. It actually ran for a couple decades, and it featured a bunch of short science fiction stories, superheroes, and just their adventures up in space and all the technology of the future. Space Cabbie was originally from the year 2154, and he just told stories to his passengers. That's one of the reasons why there was no continuity really to his things. So it allowed anyone to just jump in and pick up an issue and start reading. So the first story we ever see Space Cabbie in is about him trying to catch a bank-robbing Martian that can turn invisible. And the whole reason he's even trying to find the guy is because right before he's supposed to pay, the Martian turned invisible right on him and just ran off without paying. And he's going through all this trouble flying around the whole solar system just to catch this one Martian. It's a pretty wacky story. It's only a couple pages long if you ever want to read it. Over the next handful of issues, he had some other wacky adventures, such as his cab getting stolen. He ended up meeting 3 triples of himself, and he had to deal with mail bombs. After a while, he became the star of Mystery in Space, and Mystery in Space, like I said, lasted for a couple decades, so he had big prime time for a while. He made his last lead appearance by himself in August 1972 in From Beyond the Unknown, issue number 18, which ended up republishing his second major story back from the 50s. But the main thing he's really popular and known for is his iconic appearance with the main man himself in Lobo issue 21, which was released back in 1995. So in this issue of Lobo, Space Cabbie is actually the main star of it, and it's all from his perspective. The issue starts off with Space Cabbie in court, and he's being charged with careless driving, dangerous driving, speeding, running red lights, reckless endangerment, failing to stop after an accident, driving in a prohibited zone, damaging city property, unauthorized spaceflight, unlawful wounding, aggravated assault, conspiracy to assault, operating without a license, and 217 other violations including murder. Anyway, it's him in a place called Scar City, and he picks up this man who's coughing up. He just came back from vacation and needs a taxi. It also explains that he can take things called time jobs, and this is what allows him to show up in other people's comics, even though he's originally from the year 2154. Anyway, he's driving around, just taking the guy to his destination, and Lobo pulls up next to him, pretty much uses his car to light his cigar all cool style, and he ends up just smoking right in his face, and Space Cabbie's like, psh, I deal with this all the time. And anyway, it's pretty funny. Lobo just ends up knocking Space Cabbie in the face, and Space Cabbie ends up just being like, oh man, like, I deal with this all the time, it's alright. In the end, it ends up with Lobo doing his thing, being reckless like always, just destroying stuff, and he comes back, and he needs a ride, because he's after these bikers. And he ends up just pretty much hijacking Space Cabbie's cab, and just telling him what to do, and that's what causes all these charges against Space Cabbie. He ends up driving through buildings, just going through traffic, speeding, all these crazy things. It's pretty intense. And eventually, they end up driving and killing people while they're on the way, obviously. Lobo just goes by, shoots people up, knocks cars off highways that go tumbling down, one guy gets hit by a train while he's falling. It's pretty intense, to be honest. And in the end, while they're in court, Lobo actually ends up saving Space Cabbie. And the whole thing with this is Space Cabbie, sure, he's saved from 500-year sentence in jail, but then he has to go fix his cab, and he never got paid for any of the stuff. And his cab apparently uses really expensive parts to allow him to do all these things. Afterwards, Space Cabbie made other appearances, such as Justice League Unlimited issue 18, where he helps out a Kryptonite weakened Superman. And there's an episode of Justice League Action where he's actually the main star of the episode, and you see him deal with all the ridiculousness as usual. I am a little curious where they're gonna go with him now in Green Lanterns, or if he'll even show up in other comics that involve space travel, such as Superman even. His new design is definitely different from the classic look where he looked more professional. Now he's a bit more gruffer, he has a cigar, he reminds me of Graves from League of Legends. But I could dig it. He looks pretty cool. The metal leg, I'm hoping they explain what's going on with that. I know he gets in more dangerous stuff now. Apparently, you know, he's dealing with contraband and stuff like that. But like I said, I really hope they do something cooler with this character. He's not just a one-shot guy. Hoping to see him in other comics. Maybe he could even get his own comic back one day. That'd be really cool. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you could, leave a like, a comment. What would you like to see in the future? And stay tuned for more, guys. I'm really enjoying doing this. Have a great day.